We've been blown away by the response to a story that we brought you yesterday about Victorian mum Kate. She was rushing her sick son to hospital when she got caught speeding. Despite explaining her circumstance to police, she copped a $500 fine and lost her licence.
I'm just looking for compassion, understanding, and feeling like at that point in time, just feeling like being heard.
It is every parent's nightmare, and we've been in contact with Victoria Police, who say Kate has the opportunity to contest the matter in court. And since that interview, Sunrise has been inundated with messages from lawyers offering to represent Kate free of charge. Now, one of them is Johans Kalanta, who joins us now. Jahan, good morning to you. What was it about this case that made you think, hey, I want to help?
I don't think there's anybody in Australia who hasn't been affected by serious illness in some capacity. And the story of Kate and her son Caden going through this awful time, and instead of receiving compassion, help and respect, being treated, you know, in I would say a horrible fashion, really affected me and affected the members of my team.
Just for anyone who might have missed it yesterday, Caden was diagnosed with a brain tumour 3 months ago. It's been 3 months of gruelling treatment, and they were told once taking him home that if he showed any symptoms, one of them being vomiting, they needed to get him back to the emergency room within 30 minutes. Now, Kate was doing that. It was the middle of the night. She was caught speeding, which she readily admitted that she was doing. Police kept her there for 7 or 8 minutes to then do a drug and alcohol test on her. Meanwhile, the clock is ticking. Legally, what are her options now?
Look, Kate has a few options. The work of a criminal defence lawyer is simple, not easy, but simple. And we will take her, you know, if she chooses to speak with us, through those options, including whether she pleads guilty and gives a plea in mitigation, explaining to the magistrate or the court what's happened, or potentially running this to a defended hearing where she raises defences available to her, like medical necessity.
Jahan, is there some sort of leniency in emergency cases like this? Does that happen?
Absolutely. Courts are very, very au fait with understanding that life happens and looking at the individual circumstances of the case, making sure that people like Kate or people who are in a medical situation are treated very differently than someone who's speeding for, say, you wanted to get there a bit quicker or expediency.
What's your advice for other people who may want to contest a fine?
I think that one of the things that people need to understand is that police are wonderful, police do a good job, but police are also human. And if you are facing a fine or you're dealing with anything, dealing with an administrative issue, that you always have the right to seek legal advice, to speak to a lawyer or get some advice from a credible, reliable source. Don't just go on forums online and speak to people who have no idea what they're talking about, but speak to credible sources. Most states have a law society or a registry that you can test to find people who can assist you.
Jahan, how do you think this might play out for Kate now?
Well, I don't know if Kate has received representation or is being represented, but we would like to volunteer pro bono to assist her. I've spoken with counsel and we'd be grateful to do that. But depending on how it chooses to play out, I think that the police should be informed via letter of what's happened, make it very clear that, you know, this is a matter where perhaps they should have, you know, exercise some more discretion and see where it goes from there.
Which Kate has actually done. She has sent that letter, so that's underway, which is a good thing.
Excellent.
All right, Jahan, thank you very much, and thank you for putting yourself forward.
It's my pleasure.
So
Thank you very much for having me.